You don't have any. You have only 3%. We have 70. So we can go up to 97% because the difference will buy from you and pay you money. So it's just an excuse to continue doing the wrong thing and say, excuses. But look at it that way. They say now, carbon combustion. You get gases coming out and they stagnate in the atmosphere. So the heat of the sun is not dissipated. And that's the whole thing about carbon footprints. And then you say, we are going to move everything to electricity. Now, every child knows how do you generate heat. I mean, electricity generates heat. So how can we go on to use electricity to reduce global warming? There's something wrong here. But even if you look at carbon footprints, I was at an international conference 2 years ago, and there was scientists from America, and he showed us that the nitrogen used in fertilizers, all the nitrogen fertilizers around the world, they produce 300 times more climate warming than carbon emissions. So now let's ask ourselves, where is the problem? If we pinpoint the problem, we find solution. If we don't, our civilization is gone. So the problem here is if the carbon that's produced industrially has no life force, so nature and plants have no need to absorb it. I mean, they don't want to absorb something that has no life force. They only absorb what has life force. So they leave it outside. Now, if I manage to bring the concept of life force into modern science, if I manage to bring life force into our carbon combustion, then all of a sudden, the carbon gases coming out have life force. Plants will automatically absorb it. Nature will absorb it because it will be an extra source of carbon. So nature will absorb it. So the idea is, can we introduce life force into carbon? We can do the same with electricity. We introduce life force in it. Any products of modern technology that do not have life force are harmful. If we manage to find a way to produce life force, then it's possible. Now, a science like biogeometry, we work basically with life force. I mean, we're working basically with reproducing the life force of sacred power spots into geometrical figures so we can charge things with this life force of sacred power spots. So we know we work with life force, but people do not acknowledge life force. So what do we do? In biogeometry, we can actually add biogeometry to carbon combustion, and then the carbon gases will come out of life force, so nature will absorb it. Or also add electricity, so electricity becomes with life force, so it will regulate heat and not increase it. Why? Because when you add life force to any combustion or to electricity, life force has a homeostatic effect. So all of a sudden, you put a homeostasis effect on electricity. You put homeostasis effect on carbon, and then you have living emissions. Now, unfortunately, in biogeometry, we have solutions, but against a scientific mindset that does not believe in the existence of life force, we're faced with a war. But we can. What we do, at least on a personal level, to the biogeometry community and all that, we can actually have biogeometry solutions, very simple ones, that we place, for example, in our cars, electric cars or gas, and we place them, and then something strange happens. If I tell you, you won't believe me. So who will believe me and who will not believe me in what I'm going to say? See, nobody wants to believe me before I even say it. Okay, we are going to, if we put a biogeometry solution in a car, if we take Graciella's car that is out there and make Elite the first environmental friendly cars, so can we put a biogeometry something in her car so that the gases coming out of the exhaust have a healing effect on you? Can we do healing with exhaust gases of a car? Why do you believe me now? Before you said you didn't believe me. Can we make exhaust gases of a car? I'll tell you one thing. In our breathing, I breathe oxygen and send out carbon dioxide and monoxide and all that, and the plant takes it. But our carbon monoxide, dioxide, we also exchange it. I mean, you breathe it out, I get some of it. I breathed out, you get some of it. Are we harmful to each other? No. Somebody breathes out in front of you, you don't die. And this breath has life force, so nothing happens. So now, what if we do that with a car? Now, I understand that most of you here studied biogeometry and know how to measure and all that. So the first thing in biogeometry is, why should you believe in biogeometry? Never, and that's our rule in our teaching, in our courses. Never tell me, show me how to do it. You have to tell me, make me do it. If it's a science, you can do it. But if I do it, there could be some psychic effect to it or whatever. But if it's really a science, then any one of you in the room should be able to do it. So now, Graciela, do you have your car out there? Okay, her car is out here, and we've made the lecture for an hour. What we want to do is we'll go down and we'll put some tissue in front of the car. And I did that experiment yesterday, and I got 2 envelopes that you can measure the tissues. But of course, I have them in my pocket, and they're both with each other like that. They might have bit impregnated each other. But in any case, if they are positive, which they should not be, then it works. But I'll make an experiment in front of you now. But I think that we are going to the measurements ourselves, because, like I said, you should never believe what I say. So here, for example, one tissue like this, and another one like this. So if one of you wants to come here and measure on the body a problem, anybody come. You're all experts in measuring, aren't you? What have I taught you all those years? Somebody come here and show me how you can do it. Okay, yes, come. You have your pendulum, you come with your pendulum, and you take away the pendulums, because you don't want any biogeometry things on your body. Okay? Okay, you tell us where the energy problems are on the body. Get your wavelength first until okay, and then find where you have a problem. You can go on the here, she has glasses, you find here disturbance, and then you can go to the rest of it. Okay, you found something? Okay. Keep measuring it. Open your hands. You will hold this. See, this is the exhaust from the car with the strip inside it. This is the exhaust of the same exhaust, because you should do it on the same car without the thing inside it. Wait a bit, because they're together. Just slow down. You should wait a bit, because this has a healing effect. So it will take some time to return to normal, like this, and then it's getting normal now to normal, and then you have this effect. Because usually, if you put this on your hand, it takes a few minutes. So, okay, so this is the one. Although they've been put together, so they're impregnated. But now, what we're going to do, the experiment with Graciel. Now, I looked at it from another way. I'm from Egypt. I live in Egypt, and the only way I see the success of European industry is when I drive European cars. You know, if I or drive Garcia, I get a Porsche, I get Ferrari, and all that. This is the success of European industry. Now, with the new laws coming very soon, there'll be no European industry. You can say bye-bye to all the European industry. Because once you want to convert to electric cars, you'll be all speaking Chinese tomorrow. Yes, we'll never be able to compete. So Porsche will be history, Ferrari will be history, Mercedes will be history. Finish. You'll never be able to compete. So imagine that this way of looking at it can destroy the European economy, whether it's intentional or not intentional or just stupidity. But as a result, at the end, if we continue the same path, that by 2030 you are converting to electricity and cancelling all combustion engines, the European economy is bye-bye. Of course, luckily, we don't produce cars in Egypt. But this is what's happening now. If we have a very simple solution to show you that we can still continue with combustion engines, but we would also have to put life force into even electrical cars, both of them, and then we can continue with our European advancements in combustion engines. I'm not a politician. This is not my fight. I mean, I'm just a simple scientist doing experiments, and it's up to the people in Europe to do you want this technology and maybe to save the European car industry or not. But I'm showing you that there is a way, and it's a very simple way. So until now, what we have at the BioGeometry company, we have those car addition strips that at least the people can get them from BioGeometry on a personal level in their own cars. So we can do it on a personal level. But the right thing would be to do it on an industrial level. So now, how do you want to do it? Come and take the mic. What I mean to do with the car is this. No, I mean, why should the people here believe this? Many of them want to go and see for themselves. When we finish, we want to go down to the car and see. For example, she has something wrong, right? Okay, so we're going to take one, now this one, a new one. We're going to put it on the exhaust pipe. We're going to see on the exhaust pipe, and we are taking two things. One, without the car strip, we have a special car strip, and one with. And you'll see, when you take it one without the car strip, it's enhancing your problem. And when you're taking the other one with the car strip, your problem is solved. This is very simple. Yesterday we did it with Johnny, we did it with other people, and suddenly there was good. If you were coming with me, we can do it and just light the car. You do yourself the test and you see what's going on. But this is not to sell you the phone stick. It's just to tell you this is nothing to do with that. It's just to say, to show you that what the people say in the media, what they think I'm talking about, the exhaust pipe, about the carbon dioxide, about the cars, it's not true. There are many other things which are dangerous for the human being, but certainly not cars. And I think Ibrahim explained very well why. I mean, the main thing here is a mental thing. We want to bring life force back in our way of scientific thinking. You cannot have total denial of life force when civilizations for thousands and thousands of years are speaking about life force. They'll take any ancient people. They speak of life force. Now, if you lived in ancient Egypt or ancient Sumeria and you knew you had all the knowledge and a civilization that lost thousands of years, what would you choose as your main fuel for the civilization? Life force. Because many people, they come. I find on YouTube, I look at films, and many tell you, yes, the Egyptians made the pyramids to produce electricity. The pyramids are like Tesla towers, or they make the pyramids because the pyramids are radioactive reactors. All those things mean nothing besides life force. If you know what life force is, all the rest is civilization that has the wisdom of understanding life force. I could go on speaking for another 10 hours if you want on life force, but for very simple things. When they first invented music, it is certain proportions on a string that entered into resonance with the life force of the universe. So there's so many things, the proportions of buildings. There's the whole teaching of biogeometry, as you all know it, actually has in its background life force. That's why it's called biogeometry, the geometry of life force.
Can I just ask, is it only the car strip that you added, or did you put any other?
No, we have, you see, if I was going to do it on an industrial scale, I might find some other solution. But now, the simple solution that we have is like you wear a pendant or something. You just put the car strip on the dashboard or on the gearbox. You just put the car strip, and then you see Graciela has a simple car strip, and she will just put it there, and then you measure the exhaust, and then take it away, and you measure the exhaust. So it's very simple. But if we want to make it an industrial scale, we'll give them a design that gets automatically stamped or added to the system itself. It's very easy. There's so many ways of doing it. But first, know that you can do it. And then depending on who wants it, we can devise a solution for every possible thing. This is important, You saw how the president of Ferrari was so upset when they brought the first electrical Ferrari Gucci, and they lost, I think, 2.8 billion in one day. The stock went down. So I read at the same time, president of Lamborghini canceled the Lamborghini electric car. They were having Lamborghini electric car ready to launch next month. So he said no. So this is what people somehow they don't want electric car for some reason. Maybe it's my age. You know, when you have white hair like me, you enjoy combustion engines. If you're young, you want your car to be like a computer, you know, just tack, 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 tack. You don't want to think everything is electrical. Take me there, do this, do this. Okay, depends. It's a generation thing.